The obsidian throne room of the Velkara warship fell silent as Queen Zylara raised her ceremonial blade above her head. The weapon gleamed under the violet lights, its edge sharp enough to split atoms. Below her, kneeling on the cold metal floor with hands bound behind his back, was Eric Chen, the last surviving human from the research vessel Odyssey. "This one will serve as an example," Zylara announced to her assembled court, her amber eyes blazing with controlled fury. "Humanity dared to enter our sacred spawning grounds. For this transgression, their kind will learn fear." The Velkara warriors chittered their approval, mandibles clicking in anticipation. They were an insectoid race, beautiful in their terrible efficiency, with exoskeletons that shimmered like oil on water. For 3 generations, they had ruled this sector of space with absolute authority. Eric kept his eyes forward, refusing to show fear even as his heart hammered against his ribs. The Odyssey had been on a peaceful mission, charting previously unexplored nebulae. They'd had no idea they'd stumbled into Velkara territory. The attack had been swift and merciless. He was the only one left. "Any final words, human?" Zylara's voice was like grinding stone. "Yeah," Eric managed, his voice hoarse but steady. "This won't end the way you think it will." The Queen's mandibles spread in what might have been a smile, defiant to the end. How predictable. She adjusted her grip on the blade, preparing for the killing stroke. The court leaned forward. This was history, the execution of the first human to violate their space. Then, from the shadows near the throne, came a small chittering sound. Zylara froze. Every warrior in the room went rigid. A tiny figure emerged from behind the Queen's throne, a juvenile Velkara, no larger than a human child, with a carapace still soft and pale. The Queen's own offspring, Princess Lyris, who should have been secured in the royal nursery. "Lyris, return to your chambers immediately," Zylara commanded, her voice sharp with authority and something else concern. But the young princess didn't obey. Instead, she moved closer to Eric, her antennae quivering with curiosity. She'd been watching from the shadows, listening, and something about the human fascinated her. "Mother, why do we kill?" Lyris asked in the high, musical voice of Velkara youth. The question hung in the air like a physical thing. Warriors shifted uncomfortably. No one questioned the Queen. "We kill to protect our kind," Zylara said firmly. "This human's people violated our territory. Justice demands blood." "But he's alone," Lyris observed, tilting her head. "He has no weapons. He's already defeated. Where's the honor in this kill?" Zylara's grip on the blade tightened. "Lyris, you are young. You don't understand." "I understand that he's afraid," the princess interrupted, now standing directly beside Eric. She reached out with one delicate appendage and touched his shoulder. Eric flinched but didn't pull away through her touch. Lyris could sense his emotions. The Velkara royal line possessed limited empathic abilities. What she felt made her antennae droop with sadness. "He grieves, mother. He lost his entire colony nest. All his companions are dead. He's alone in a way we can never be, because we have the unity." She referred to the psychic connection all Velkara shared. Humans have no unity. They are always alone in their minds. "All the more reason they are dangerous," Zylara argued, but her voice had lost some of its certainty. "Or all the more reason they deserve mercy," Lyris countered. She looked up at Eric with her young eyes, and he saw something there he never expected: compassion. "What was your mission, human?" Eric swallowed hard. We were scientists, explorers. We study stars, map nebulae, search for life. We didn't know this was your territory." "We meant no harm." "Lies," hissed one of the warriors. "No," Lyris said firmly. "I feel his truth. He speaks what he believes." Zylara lowered her blade slightly. "Daughter, step away from the prisoner." "No, mother," gasps echoed through the throne room. No one refused a direct order from the Queen. Lyris moved to stand between Eric and her mother, her small form a fragile shield. "If you kill him, you kill the last of his nest. His species will believe we are monsters. They will seek revenge. The cycle of violence will continue." "The cycle began when they violated our borders," Zylara said. But she made no move to push her daughter aside, did it? Lyris challenged. "Or did it begin when we decided that borders matter more than lives?" When we chose pride over understanding, Eric watched this impossible scene unfold, scarcely daring to breathe. This alien child was defending him, arguing with her own mother, a queen who held absolute power. I have studied the ancient texts, Lyris continued. Before we became conquerors, we were explorers too. We sought knowledge, just as this human does. When did we forget that? Xylara stood motionless for a long moment, the blade still raised. The court waited, silent. The fate of human-Valkara relations hung in the balance. Finally, the queen lowered her weapon. You dare to lecture me, child? Her voice was dangerous, but there was something else in it, pride, perhaps. I dare to be what you taught me to be, Lyris replied. Just and wise. Xylara's mandibles clicked softly, a sound of contemplation. She looked at Eric, really looked at him, perhaps for the first time seeing not an invader, but a person. Tell me, human, if I spare you, what will you tell your kind about us? Eric chose his words carefully. I'll tell them the truth, that we made a mistake, that we paid a heavy price for it, and that when it mattered most, a Valkara princess valued life over vengeance. I'll tell them there's hope for peace. Hope, Xylara repeated the word as if testing its weight. She turned to her daughter. You would stake your reputation on this human's word? I would stake more than that, Lyris said simply. The queen was silent for another long moment. Then she gestured to her warriors. Release him. Shocked murmurs filled the chamber, but no one dared disobey. A warrior stepped forward and cut Eric's bonds. You will be escorted to the border of our territory, Xylara announced. You will be given a shuttle and provisions. You will carry a message to your people. The Valkara do not desire war, but we will defend our sacred spaces. Future contact must follow proper protocols. Understood, Eric said, rubbing his wrists. Thank you, Your Majesty. Don't thank me, Xylara said coldly. Thank my daughter. She has done what I thought impossible. She has reminded me of who we once were. As guards led Eric away, he paused beside Lyris. Why did you help me? The young princess's antennae waved gently. Because someone must break the cycle. Because mercy is not weakness. And because I believe your kind and mine have much to learn from each other. Eric nodded slowly. I hope we get that chance. So do I, human. So do I. 3 months later, the first official diplomatic mission from Earth arrived at the Valkara home world. Eric Chen stood as humanity's ambassador. And beside him, as a symbol of hope and new beginnings, stood Princess Lyris, the alien child who chose compassion over conquest. And in the years that followed, when humans told the story of first contact with the Valkara, they always spoke of the day a queen raised her blade and her child chose a different path, and